Hey, I'm here again. Welcome again to Well Women Wednesday. I am Nakeia Drummond, host of Well Women Wednesday and founder of The Well. Let's go. Hey, Ashley, let's see if you get. I just accepted you again.
Yay!
Let's see. Maybe it's an Instagram thing. Has anybody else tried to go live with anybody today?
It is working.
Because I've never had this issue. Never. Where the person just could not join. Hey, Justine, how are you? Good to see you here. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Nikki, good to see your face. Well, kind of, your little icon. Y'all are both on the screen. Okay, we're both here. I don't see her. I see Ashley. Huh, interesting. I do not. Don't see her, don't hear her. Let's see. I don't know. I really don't know what's happening today. Is Mercury in retrograde? Are we still in retrograde? Because nothing's happening on my end. She was. Okay, so she's gone now. Hey. We are having technical difficulties. I don't know. Instagram Live won't let us be great. I can't get my guest in here for whatever reason. Never had this problem before. But we are going to make this work because that's what we do. Let me see if I can get her in. I don't know what is happening. I really don't. I really do not know what's happening. Bear with us, folks, or come back and see us. Huh. I don't know. I'm going to jump out again. Oh, IG keeps giving an error message to rejoin, so it may just be IG is tripping. Well, message for all of us as we've been talking about marketing and branding this whole quarter in the Well. Every quarter we have a different topic area. So this quarter is marketing and branding. This is one of those moments where platforms remind you to make sure you own your ish. So your lists and all of those things, any content that you are saving it and storing it elsewhere, because these platforms trip and you want to have your content so that you can continue to brand and market yourself when they are wilding out. So we were very much intending to have this awesome conversation with one of our realtor members, and it is not allowing. Instagram Live is not cooperating. We are not able to get us synced up so that she can join us. And so things happen the way they happen. We will, I'm going to give it like another minute and give it another shot. And if not, we will reschedule this conversation because we are not about to stress on this beautiful day. But in the meantime, since I'm here, I would love to just keep conversation with you all. So if you have not, if you're not a part of the Well, you are not a part of our mailing list, let me just plug that real quick to just join our mailing list by going to the link in our bio. And it's a quick, just give us your name and email and you'll be subscribed. We don't spam you. We send about one email a week, maybe. And it's always good information that's inspiring, helpful, resources for getting funding, ways to just connect and build community. We are all about community first. And so just that quick plug for you. And so while I wait for my guests to join me again, for those of you who are here, one of the questions that I always ask is, I'm going to switch it up. A question I've been asking lately to people is who's your dream collaboration with? And so if you have a dream collaboration and you are here, Drop it in the chat. Tell us, who do you like dream of collaborating with? Who is your dream collaboration with? If you know, I am still like ruminating on mine a bit, although one of mine that I know for sure, but I don't necessarily know what I want us to do together, so I haven't reached out. But one of mine is Myleik Teal. So she had a podcast, My Taught You. She also is founder of Curlbox. I feel like everybody knows Myleik because she's like a big deal to me, but then I mention her name at times and people are like, I haven't heard of her. But if you don't follow Myleik, you should. It's Myleik or Leik. She's always dropping gems. She's a very smart businesswoman. She's a mom, and she's just got a great story. And she's always like she's willing to share so much. And so follow Myleik if you don't already. And another thing I really love about her. So she got this. This is just like an example of what I love about her. She got this deal with Ulta for Curlbox. And there were these two women who were a part of the Ulta team, two Black women. She like posted about them, gave them all the praise in the world. And they didn't have like huge followings or anything on Instagram. They weren't, sort of like, they weren't front and center. They were like behind the scenes folks in like marketing and branding but they were Black women. They probably had used her product. They knew of her like I did, and they said her name in a room she wasn't in. And I just think it's so dope and I think it's so us. It's what we do. Like, we are always plugging each other. Like, Black women are the best hype women in the world. We will, if we like something, if it's something we like and we use, we will share it. We will be screaming it from the, mountaintop how good it is. And so that's what they did with Myleik, and it got her this deal inside of Ulta. And she like just plugged them all over her page. And I just love the idea of us ensuring that we are not hidden figures as much as the world might, as much as like spaces we're in might take our ideas and capitalize off of them, take our very essence and capitalize off of it. I think it's so awesome and important how we will just say each other's names and refer one another and be resources to one another in ways that I don't even think we realize we do. It's so natural to us. And so, that was a part of when I was thinking about starting the well, like one of the things that I had heard so many women, Black women say is that I'm not a good networker. I don't like networking. And I don't believe that. Oh, like we've been networking. Like, how you think we navigated this country? Like, period. We are amazing networkers. And even before we got in this country, because we have a story before that, we were networkers and building communities and our tribes and all of that. Like, we have been networking since forever, sharing recipes and how-tos when we don't have all the resources. We are consummate networkers because by nature, like, we are just a communal people. And so I think it's really interesting how many of us say we don't like networking and we're not networkers. And I would challenge us to really consider just how amazing networkers Black women are, because it is so natural to us to be in community. Like, it's just a part of who we are, and how much we've had to navigate spaces by networking with one another. And so that was what the well was about. It was like, let's shine a light on that and let's use that superpower of who we are collectively to elevate one another in business. And I don't believe that we're not good networkers. What happens is we find ourselves having to network in spaces that seek to make us invisible or, sort of unimportant. And so then you stick out like a sore thumb because the space doesn't reflect you at all. Or you just don't feel at home. And nobody thrives in a space that is in an environment that is not conducive to their life. Like, organisms die in environments that are not conducive to them. So, like, I want us to think about and reframe the idea that we're not good networkers. And when we feel uncomfortable in spaces that are traditional networking spaces, that we don't internalize that as like something about us, but that we flip it on its head and make it something about that space. Like, what is it about this space that does not sit right with my spirit, that does not bring out the best in me? It's not that you aren't being your best. That space is not bringing out the best in you, because I promise you, when you come to, and this isn't like even a plug about the well or push on the well, but one of the things we say when people join is welcome home, sis. And that is because women would come into our space and you can literally see the like proverbial bags fall, because we are intentional about curating and creating a space that is for us, that feels like home. So the next time you're out networking or get an invitation to something and you just see the picture and your shoulders slump, that is not about you not being a good networker. That's because there is nothing in that picture that speaks to you. There is nothing about what that event is when you walk in the room that speaks to you or lights you up. It requires you to armor up. It required you to think about how you were going to wear your hair, what you were going to wear so that your curves didn't show too. All of that, way too much, that by the time you got there, you were just tired. Like, yeah, literally, like, really, I want all of us to consider that the next time that we are about to utter those words, I'm not a good networker, it's crap. It's not true. You're amazing at networking. You can go into a space that you feel safe in and take over the room. I know it. We do it every single time. And even in spaces where we don't feel safe in, we take over the room. It's just draining. It's just draining. And so when you have to do it again, you slump, because you know how much of your energy it took to do it the last time. So you don't want to do it. But I bet you every time you've gone into those spaces, when you turned yourself on, you were able to like take over the space too. Even the ones that weren't designed for you. So affirmation, we're amazing networkers. I am an amazing networker. I own every space that I'm in. I light it up and I can't even stop my light. And I know that that's true for you too. And so, Ashley, I'm going to try this with you one more again. Let me see. Because I'm feeling like good energy right now that you're going to come in here. Boom, boom, boom. Can you get in? Can you get in? Ashley, I just invited you. Did you get my invite? Oh, thank you. I love when y'all talk back to me. I be feeling like I'm talking to myself. Hey. Hey y'all, thanks for talking back. Yes, thank you. And if you feel that the next time you go somewhere, like, I love hearing back, knowing that like something that affirmed you, like actually elevated you too. We love hearing that in the space. We all do. So definitely share it back. Definitely share that advice. Share any advice that you have once you go into those spaces with a different lens and attitude about getting it done and not allowing it to zap you or make you enter from a place of deficit. That's that, along with another thing that I've been speaking about is imposter syndrome. So similarly to how we'll say we don't like to network, we will do that with imposter syndrome, right? Which is another place of like, it's about deficit in us. I have like stopped even using the phrase because it puts it on us again that like there's something I need to fix about me. I've got imposter syndrome, so I need to work on that and fix that about me. No, you don't have imposter syndrome. You actually feel uncomfortable in spaces that are not designed for you. And everybody does. Have a white man come in a room that's a room full of us, and he's going to feel like an imposter in there too, because nothing about that space is conducive to him. Nothing about it says this is for you. And so in nature, anything that's not in an environment where it can thrive is going to first be uncomfortable, then shrink, then die. So guess what? You don't have imposter syndrome either. You actually just are not in enough spaces that charge you and fuel you and build you up enough that when you go into spaces that are not designed for you, you have so much of those resources and tools and like just that space can't touch you. And you have to go into them so often that they drain you. So we're going to stop saying we're not good networkers. We're going to stop saying we have imposter syndrome. We are not deficit in any way. We are amazing networkers and we are confident and know exactly who we are. Spaces that don't align with who we are drain us and require us to carry too much weight. Period. So, again, the affirmation of the day: I'm an amazing networker. I am light. I take up space in every place I go into. I can't even stop my light from shining so bright. I own the room when I'm in it. There's no imposter here. I just need to be in spaces that nurture my light. Period. So, could not go live with Ashley today. But, Ashley, we will try this again when Instagram is not tripping. Got it, Justine. Didn't mean to send that. I love the message. Was definitely on time. Listen, when you said LOL, I was just like, maybe I said something that made her laugh. I didn't take it personally at all. I appreciate just getting messages back because being on live is when I don't have somebody I'm talking to directly is actually pretty intimidating for me. I know I might not even seem like it right now, and that's because I like believe so firmly in what I'm saying, and because Instagram Live is intimidating for me, there are a lot of times where I want to share something I'm reflecting on and I don't just hop on and do it because I don't want to talk to myself. So I don't do it because it is intimidating to have to sit here and look at myself and just talk. So I so appreciate seeing the messages because then I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. But yes, create positive, uncomfortable changes. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Lauren, how are you? So we are all going to go into a space that was designed for us and see and experience the difference with intent. Because a lot of times we'll go to stuff and you'll be like, oh, that was nice, that felt good, but you don't even realize like all the components of it that made it what it needed to be for you. Like we just aren't present enough. We're just kind of in it. And then we'll go into another space that zaps us or where we feel like an imposter or feel like we're not a good networker and we make it about us. We internalize it all. We don't take into account all the stuff in the space that made it so. And so I am challenging you all to do that when you're in spaces, that you take inventory, because then you can make some different kinds of decisions about whether you go or not go, but also what if you do decide to go, particularly in the spaces that don't affirm you. We do have to go into some of those spaces at times, but what is it that you need? What is it that you need to do, bring whatever, or do before, after, or during that will build you up so that you can shine real bright regardless of that space? Is it that you need to go with a couple other women who are going to be lights too, so that you don't have to feel like this single light in the room that everybody is going to take resource from? Do you need to spend that whole day just chilling and taking care of yourself before you go to that, and not try and make that the busiest day of your life and then go to this event that then takes a lot from you? Do you need to take the day the next day because it zaps you to be in those spaces? So I just challenge us to like think about that a little differently and consider what it is you can do to prepare. So right, like that's that soft life piece. Like you might have to very well gear up, put your armor on at times and go into these spaces, but how can you nurture yourself? That feminine energy that's like, you can't just pound, get it done, get it done, get it done. Your masculine energy cannot exist by itself. So when you have to armor up in that way, what does your feminine energy call on you to do so that there is balance and so that you are not just zapped and drained and telling yourself this lie that you're not a good networker or that you have imposter syndrome? because I denounce both of those. Very, like, I denounce it. We are all of those things. We are light, and our light shines bright. Can't even help how bright it shines in whatever space. We are great networkers. We are confident. We are confident networkers. We are confident, period. And we know this to be true because we see it when we go into spaces that affirm us. So be affirmed, take care of you, nurture yourself, bring that feminine energy to play as much as that masculine energy is pushing your business forward. Let your feminine energy hold you and support you. Do what it is that you need. Let that feminine energy be that soft light for you. So what does that need to look like for you? You have to decide, but we'll keep coming back to this because even though that term soft life didn't exist when we started the well, the more and more I reflect on it, the more I'm like, the things that we do and the conversations we have were always really about us being able to nurture, to provide softness for each other, for ourselves and for each other, because we armor up so much as entrepreneurs, but then as Black women in a world that is not does not allow us to have the softness in many spaces. I'm not going to say allow. I don't like that either because nobody can tell me. But in spaces where we don't feel safe enough to be soft, and so all of that was unplanned, unscripted, but definitely things that I've been thinking about and things that clearly I just needed to share. Clearly, I needed to share it. Clearly, I needed to be here by myself today to say that and to be brave enough to recognize that the messages that I get from myself are not just for me, but that they are for us. And so I hope that that helps somebody today and in the spaces you're in tomorrow, that you trust your greatness, you trust yourself as a networker, you trust yourself as confident, and recognize that it is the space, it is not you. That there's a lack in that space is lacking something that will affirm and give you the safety to show up in your fullness. So that's it. Have a great evening. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thanks for joining us. If anybody joined and didn't hear me give the message, if you're not on our mailing list, please join our mailing list. It's another way that we get to be in community with you. We will not spam you. We honestly just send resources, send ways to support you, send some of these thoughts and ideas that you might miss on lives. We send recaps of things. We send resources that come to us through our collective meetings and such. So if you're not a member, you might, we share some of these things, not in full, but we share some of it through our newsletters and through our emails, which we send out about once a week. So yeah, please definitely be in community. And if you are already in community with us through our mailing list and through Instagram or any other social media platform, I call them love letters. We love getting love letters, just messages from you all when a particular resource or a message resonates with you. If you send us a message back, we definitely respond because we want you to know we hear you and we see you. We will never be too big to respond or too busy. It might take us a few days, but we will definitely get to you and let you know that we see you and we hear you, and we're grateful for you being in community with us and that you gave us your energy. So thanks, ladies. Have a wonderful Well Women Wednesday. We will see you again next week. And hopefully Instagram gets its life together so we can have a guest. I'm so sorry, Ashley, we weren't able to talk, but I'm just going to trust that we all needed to have this conversation today. So see you all very, very soon.